I wanted to talk a little about depression, mood disorders, mania, emotions, all sorts of things, and tools that you can use to help them, and things that you can use to keep track of them. I do have a mini list of what I want to talk about, but it's not much, and I do ramble and stumble, on my words a lot, so I apologize in advance to that. But I'd like to jump right in because I can already tell this is going to be a long video, and I'd like to make it as short as possible. I've recorded it 4 times before I've recorded this one, and each of them have been 8 minutes long, so hopefully it's a little different with this one. First thing I wanted to do is explain to you what bipolar or mood disorders or mood swings even kind of are. Something that will give you a better understanding of how it works so that you can explain to your mother or even explain to your therapist. I use 2 pens, for example. Most people have 1 pen, okay? Unipolar, 1 pen. These are their emotions. They have 1 set of emotions, and they go through their day-to-day lives, not worrying about them. Just their emotions don't get in the way of their lives. Let me put it to you that way. But we have 2 pens. We swing and fluctuate between these 2 pens. We fluctuate between these 2 poles. So this is the depressive pole, this is the manic pole. We go back and forth between the depressive pole and the manic pole. In between, you're either mixed, which is both depressive and manic, or you're normal. But whether it be 2 weeks cycling or a month, you will always end up back at another pole. The depressive pole tends to be the worst because it can be the hardest to get over, it can last longer, and the manic pole you might not even realize you're developing because mania can feel so good for some people. So yeah, let's go over that once again. Most people have 1 pole or unipole. We are 2 poles, and we fluctuate between these 2 poles. Our emotions fluctuate between our own little, psychological poles. Another way that I can describe bipolar disorder to you, or mood disorders in general, mood swings in general, is using a computer, for example. So take a laptop or a desktop and take the motherboard, right? This is the disorder itself. Take programs like an antivirus and computer games and whatnot and cram those into the computer. So the computer screen is you, the hard drive, alright, the motherboard of the computer is the disorder, and the programs are the symptoms of the disorder. So, of course, the programs, aka symptoms, are displayed on the screen, which is you. The symptoms are displayed on you. The motherboard of the computer is not shown. Nobody can see it. It's deep down in the computer, just like the disorder. Whatever is the core of the problem is deep down inside of you. Okay? So people only see these programs, which are, really symptoms. So you walk into a therapist's office or your mother observes you, and all she sees are these symptoms. So they automatically jump to the fact that you are depressed and you need Lexapro, which, by the way, do not work for people like us if you are bipolar. And they just see this set of symptoms, and they just treat these symptoms as if the symptoms themselves are the disorder. They don't put them all together and realize, hey, there might be something here. And because of this, and because that can be so dangerous, and it can take so long to get diagnosed for something like bipolar because of this, I really recommend tracking your moods. A way to do this would be to take a book, just composition notebook, okay? And at the end of the day, in the beginning, in the middle, throughout the day, whatever, talk about what you did that day, who you talked to, what you did, and how it made you feel. Do not write about anything else in this book. Only write about your day-to-day feelings. What kicked off what emotion, what made you feel like this, what made you feel like that. Only write down how you felt about that day. And at the end of the day, do kind of a little summary wrap-up about, how you feel about tomorrow and how you finally feel about that day. keep writing. It's going to be hard at first, but you really got to push yourself to keep writing because it is worth it. You have documentation of your moods, and you can show people. You have concrete proof of what you're going through, because eventually the patterns in your mood swings do show up in those pages. You do see the fluctuation between the two poles in those pages. There's no getting past it. Another thing that I do is I have a spreadsheet that I fill out daily that helps me kind of figure out how I'm feeling. Sometimes I don't really know what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm feeling manic, depressed, or what. And usually I'm in a mixed state at that point, and that's very hard. I can always send you that chart if you want. It's essentially a spreadsheet, and I X off, what I feel to what degree on a 1 to 10 scale. And it's very useful, and it can kind of help ground you and figure out what, emotions you are experiencing. What else did I want to talk about? So yeah, recognize your symptoms of mania and depression. For example, recognize, mania with symptoms of irritability, of symptoms of racing thoughts, suddenly a higher increase of confidence, suddenly you want to start all these new projects, you don't sleep as much, that sort of thing. And then recognize, symptoms of, depression, depressive episodes, such as feeling down, not being able to take care of yourself, not being able to shower, not being able to get work done, not being able to get to places on time, substance and alcohol abuse, that sort of thing. And over time, it does take time and it does take practice, and this is why that mood journal is so important, because you can look back and see the early as you read, you can recognize the early triggers to what emotions there are and what episodes you've had. So I highly recommend that. Keeping track of your triggers and keeping track of your symptoms is the most important thing to really monitoring and keeping a healthy lifestyle and not letting your episodes get in the way, not having a full-blown mania episode, not having a full-blown depressive episode where you will be able to function properly, function normally, and maybe kick down the harshness of it a little bit. However, what I'm talking about is using maybe these metaphors, these explanations to your therapist or your mother for them to understand that you feel as if you have a mood disorder. I also recommend tracking your moods before you do this so that you have some concrete proof that you can show them and that you can discuss with them and that they can read and whatnot. I think that's one of the best things that's possible. My own sleeping medication is actually kicking in, so I might sign off tonight, but tomorrow it will be daylight out, so I will have better lighting, and I'm filming with my webcam, so it's awful, and I'm tired, so my personality isn't right, but I hope this wasn't too rambly, and I really hope it helped a little bit, at least. Tomorrow I will make a better video that really breaks down things and will help you learn a little bit better and figure out what's going on in your mind a lot. I think that's the best thing to do, figure out what's going on. And that mood journal will help when you write about what you're feeling and what makes you feel like what, if that makes any sense. You start to figure out what's going on upstairs a little bit more. So anyways, I am signing off. It is 9 minutes, of course. I will talk to you later. Hopefully I will make a better video and this video doesn't suck as much as I think it does. So anyways, I hope you enjoy and I hope this helps. I will make another one. I could even send you a spreadsheet, to be quite honest. So yeah. Clickers out of the way.